So you got your website done by some agency or web designer, and you think the results look great, the design looks nice, you look professional, and so you think to yourself, well, now that my website looks great, I'll run some ads to it. And that will make more people inquire because I look professional, etc. But what you notice is that your expectations didn't really meet reality. You run ads, but you don't really see a huge improvement in, for example, inquiries or the amount of serious leads that you get who are actually ready to invest in like an outdoor space or like a pool. In fact, a lot of the ad dollars pretty much go to waste. And maybe you think there's something wrong with the ads or that just ads don't work at all. But the problem is really the website itself. You see, running ads to a website, from my experience of generating thousands of sales via Facebook ads, is pretty much never a good idea. And that is the case if the website is well designed, it looks professional. Just overall sending people to a website is not a good idea. And I'm going to explain why, and also where you can send people to instead to get just way better results pretty much every time. So imagine this. You have this ad, right? It says some good things. Maybe you build like pools or something, right? And so people read this ad, it talks about you, and if they want to get a pool built by you, maybe you offer like free consultations, then hey, just book a free consultation. They're like, okay. And they click through to your website. And when they arrive on the website, maybe it looks good, right? But what they see is basically one button up here. There's another button here. There's another button right there, a button there. It's like about us, our services, contact, etc. And then there's some content written right here. And then there's a scroll, right, with even more content. And so what happens is that they arrive on the page and there's so many things on this website right here that people simply get overwhelmed and confused. They don't know where to go. They don't know what to do next. So they will either just click out, they won't continue, or they'll start clicking around on some buttons right here and they won't get back to the actual like homepage or the scheduling page. And the result is the same. You lose them. The point is that the website doesn't have any focus. It's just a bunch of content, a bunch of buttons that, sure, again, may look good, but it's not actually congruent or like congruent with the ad, or it doesn't clearly show people what they should actually do. And so in some cases, for example, people may talk about like pool building in the ad, right? But when they get to the website, it's overall like outdoor living spaces. And so there's incongruency, and people, especially when it comes to ad traffic, this is ad traffic in particular, if they get confused for a moment, then they're just out. If they see an ad about a pool and then they get to a website that doesn't talk about exactly what they read in the ad, then they will think that they just arrived at the wrong place or that this is a scam or whatever. It's different when, for example, you have someone who searches you up on Google by name or something like that because they've heard of you from a friend. They're coming in with way more intent. But for example, a homeowner who doesn't know who you are and they just saw you on an ad, if they get confused or overwhelmed for like a second, they're just out, right? They won't sit there for like 10 seconds and be like, what do I do next? So what we basically need is to send people to a place that is super congruent with what they just read in the ad. And the place that they arrive at also has focus. It's super clear what we want them to do. There's not much on there. There's one place to go, one place to inquire, and not a bunch of like buttons and content everywhere that tries to capture their attention. And so it would look something like this. So you would have an ad once more, and let's say this ad is talking about like an outdoor kitchen offer or something, right? And so people read this ad and then it ends by saying, hey, if you're interested in having your outdoor kitchen installed by us, then, click this link right here and you'll get to a web page where you can get like a free estimate, right? And it's like, okay, it's a little bit of future pacing. They know what they're clicking and they know what they should do next, right? And so they get to this page, but instead of it being like a website with a bunch of content everywhere, etc., it's just like a headline, right? It's one text right here that essentially just almost summarizes the offer or what you told them inside of the ad. Okay? And this makes sure that people actually know that they arrived at the right place. They're looking for really any excuse to call you like a scammer or that this isn't legit or whatever, right? And so we want to communicate to them that they're in the right place immediately, right? So if we talked about outdoor kitchens here or something, right, and they can get a free estimate, then the headline would just restate that. So it's like, hey, get your free outdoor kitchen estimate by clicking the link below or something. Or maybe you wouldn't say by clicking the link below in the headline, but at least you would restate the exact like promise, the exact offer on the headline here that you had in the ad, right? So it's like, get your free outdoor kitchen estimate, and there's no buttons or anything anywhere. The only button, the only call to action is the actual button that allows people to, in this case, request an estimate, right? Nothing else. Because every other button, every other place we send people or that they can potentially go is essentially an exit button. It's like a window that they can hop out of, right? To escape the page, right? So we want to make the page as like knit tight, no holes, so that the only way that they can exit is literally by, clicking the X button on their browser or, on their phone. Most people will be on their phone, like clicking the back button on their phone, right? We don't want them to be able to click some other buttons, right? And you might think or say, well, what if they want to know, more about me, right? Well, you can have all of that content on this page. And so it could be here, like, here's who we are, here's our credibility, our awards, here's who we serve, etc. So you can have all of that information just on this singular page where you actually like control the conversation and you control their attention instead of them being on like a website where there's information everywhere and buttons and they're essentially just free roaming, right? And you can have all of this content on this singular page, and then you could even repeat the call to action. So it's like they arrive on the page, there's the headline that restates the offer so they know that they landed at the right place. Hey, inquire if you want this estimate. Okay, you are not comfortable inquiring yet? Well, here's some information about us. Here's who we serve. Here's our awards, our testimonials. Now, do you want to inquire? You can, request your estimate. Okay, you don't want to inquire yet? Well, here's an FAQ, whatever, right? So what you're doing is that you're essentially playing like tennis with them almost, because some people will not be ready just right away. When they arrive on the page, they will require some additional information. And so it's this sort of tennis where it's like, okay, you shoot the ball back to them. Hey, do you want to inquire? They shoot the ball back to you. You're like, okay, you don't seem ready yet. Here's some more information. You shoot the ball back to them. Okay, are you ready now? Right? And so it's this little tennis. But the point is that all of the information that they have to know should be on just this singular page where there's actual focus, right? So I hope this makes sense. Now, if you want to work with me to get highly qualified appointments booked for you, where I run your ads, I produce them, I write them, and I also build this landing page for you, then you can just schedule a call by clicking the link below. It's a performance-based service, so there's no upfront fees or anything like that. Hopefully this was useful. Anyway, goodbye.